So all-time highs it is. Bitcoin trading at $72,000, and we've had the second highest daily close for Bitcoin in its entire history, and there's nothing bearish about that. Really, really bullish signs. We're looking at this as a major and real breakout in the making, so you probably want to be adequately positioned in the right coins, which means this might be your last chance to get into the super cycle crypto portfolio, which I'm going to be giving you on today's show. So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because we're one of the fastest growing channels in the world with more than 1 million loyal subscribers. So again, guys, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. It's looking really, really good over there. Bitcoin, $72,412. And this has been exactly as we've predicted. I was saying to the whale room community yesterday on the live session on Zoom that it hasn't been any easier than this. This has been the easiest crypto cycle for me personally. It's been very simple to read, and you have this huge cup and handle formation. And the good news is that we're only just moving into that breakout, and there's a lot of upside still ahead of us for Bitcoin alone, 52%. And as Bitcoin puts in that next guard candle, that's usually where you're going to start to see the altcoins really rally, which means that there's ample opportunity over here for your chance to make millions of dollars within this crypto cycle. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration or some sort of clickbait, but it's absolutely a possibility, and it may be one of the last cycles that you get that opportunity. So you probably want to be adequately positioned in the right coins at the right time right now before the market actually does start to move, because this is looking like the real breakout, right? We focused on the SR flip level for quite a long period of time. You had the prior resistance coming in for support over here, and this is on a monthly scale, and it might not be this month's candle. It might only be in November, right? Maybe if you pause over here in November, you might come down one more time to fill some of these low regions, testing for the final chance of support. But I wouldn't want to bet on those dips, right? I would rather be on the side of the longs, looking for major expansion into the month of October, right? You're also seeing Bitcoin break out against the M2 money supply, pretty much trading also at all-time highs over there. And we'll talk about today how crypto is a function of liquidity or product of that liquidity. We had the 3 candle confirmation closes over here. So the breakout of the horizontal regions as well as the breakout of the diagonals is looking really good over here for continuation higher. And bulls are definitely in full force and control over here. You can see that stochastic RSI really trending into this upper region. I haven't brought this one up for quite a while, but what I want to showcase to you over here is many people label this as the period of it's overbought, right? And it's time to sell. But I want to remind you, when it gets into this zone and it stays in this zone, this is typically where you get these major runs, right? The parabolic runs. You can see when the stochastic RSI got into that region over there, where was price? It was over here, and it led to that entire move towards the upside. So don't fade that. There's major parabolic advancements that tend to occur within these areas. Again, you can see it over here. What happened to price? The full bull run, right, occurred within that environment. So an important thing to look at, an important thing to understand, price is above all the major support levels, which is a good sign. No resistance overhead, free skies, and we are finally getting the moment that we've waited for such a long period of time. So smash the like button if you've been here since the absolute beginning, and congratulations to you for having the endurance and persistence to stick through until the very end. Now is your chance to get handsomely rewarded for everything you've been waiting for, right? So October monthly candle only up 13.8%. Remember, 22% is the usual. If we do play out the usual 22% over the next 48 hours between today and tomorrow before the monthly candle closes, well, that would bring in a Bitcoin price around $80,000, right? And crazier things have happened before. So don't be too surprised if you do see rapid expansion from this region, and before you know it, you're trading at $80,000. You can imagine what's going to happen sentiment-wise to the space, how the whole industry is going to go wild. And the great news is that November is usually even more bullish than October. So we have covered that. You can see shorts continue to get squeezed. The majority of the liquidity that has been taken was from the short side, 115 million worth of shorts taken out of the market. So that's a lot of lost money over there for anyone trying to short. The 24-hour long to short ratio has come closer to parity, right? 51.2%. Yesterday, this was sitting at about 52, 53% of the market were in longs. This is more healthy. You kind of want to see in in a strong trading move that you're oscillating between about 50.5 and about 51.5. That's your healthy environment where you can see the major breakouts, right? Stock market looking really good. We are just a week away from the election phase, and we know what happens after that, because you can see from the prior elections, right? If you have a look at that, you can see big moves that occur following those election phases, and that's got a lot to do with what they do with the monetary policy, and how the Fed stops tightening but goes to looser monetary policy and actually starts to print money. And that leads to these big breakouts, right? Gold already reached our final target, right? So smashed straight through that final target. I'm completely out of this trade. This was an absolute killer gold trade. 12.21% on spot gold alone. These are big numbers for a multi-trillion-dollar asset class. You're talking about people leveraging up, between 500 and 2,000x on these moves over here. That's like playing out a full crypto cycle in just this 12% move, which is huge, right? But the more important thing is that it's a bit of a leading indicator to show what was going to come next for Bitcoin and what is still coming next for Bitcoin. You can expect exactly the same type of thing, right? These types of moves, we've seen it in the stock market, we've seen it in crypto. Crypto slightly lags, and the good news is that the altcoins come right at the end, which means you have a blueprint right in front of you. You have a GPS, which is going to show you exactly what to do and exactly what to look at next. And here it is, right? One of the things we can focus on is the BTC USDT to gold ratio, which currently is pressing into that trend line. And this is usually the part of the cycle where Bitcoin tends to outperform gold completely, because gold, having been the first move, has already played out the majority of that move, right? So a lot of exciting times, and it's all supported by the volatility index, which is expanding, right? This is showing you that the breakout is absolutely entirely real. When you look at the bottom level over here on the left-hand side, this is the BBWP specifically for Bitcoin. You're getting a confirmation of that move. It's expanding, it's lifting off, it's rising as price is breaking out. This shows you that this time it's really real, right? So Ethereum still lagging behind, slightly down, but again, you have a blueprint as to what comes next. First it's gold, then it's the stock markets, then it's Bitcoin, then it's Ether and other large caps, and then finally comes the rest of the altcoin sector, which means that it's an opportunity for you to already start to establish positions in coins that have not yet run, but still have the potential to do really well, simply put, because they are laggards, right? So for those of you who have made major profits on other positions, you would also be considering these coins. However, you'll just be rotating some of your profits, whereas the latecomers to the market are going to be looking towards these laggards as an opportunity to get in. Now, you have to be careful. It depends on how much of a laggard it is and whether the technical analysis lines up or not, because typically you want to long strength and you want to avoid laggards. But if you can use tools like this, like the volatility indicator below over here, and you can time the expansion of that, then it's okay, right? Because you can see that, well, it's going to transition from what was a laggard into maybe something that was strong. So we'll discuss more of that in a moment. Now, if you focus specifically on the election phases as well as the halving cycles, you can see pretty clearly this is what tends to happen, right? If you look at the first cycle over here, you had the election phase, the pre-halving pump that takes you into pretty much the all-time highs, or at least where the local top was put, because this was so early in the cycle. And then you have the halving cycle, and that leads into the banana zone, the frenzy zone, which sends prices towards the upside higher and higher. Then you lead into the next cycle over here in 2016. And what do you see? The same thing. Pre-halving pump, price then consolidates near that local top over there. And then you lead into the banana phase, pump after elections, right? After the election phase, after the halving cycle, absolute rally. You come back down into the bear market. You have your pre-halving pump. Things cool off a little bit. You consolidate into the prior local top over there, into the halving cycle, following the election phase, and what do you get? Exactly the same thing, the banana zone. And now we've seen the same thing, right? The pre-halving pump, we went through the sideways consolidation period, and prices consolidating at the prior local high. Well, actually, this was charted yesterday. So at that point in time, we weren't. Right now, we're actually already leaving the zone, which means you're now entering into the banana zone, where you can see you have much higher targets in play over there. So this has been the game plan. This has been the book that we followed for a long time. We read the tape, we had a look at the charts, and this is what it suggested to us, right? Following that halving cycle to all-time highs, the first time round was 12 months. Following the second halving cycle to all-time highs was 17 months. following the third halving cycle to all-time highs was 18 months, which means I guess we can estimate that, if it follows that same pattern, maybe this cycle is going to be a super right translated cycle, meaning it takes a lot longer. Maybe this cycle, instead of being 17, 18 months, is going to last from the halving cycle to the end. Maybe it's going to be about 19, 20 months. Well, I've got a timing target based on a more conservative approach, specifically focusing on the 12 to the 18-month time period. And I'll be looking to scale out of the market somewhere in between those dates. So that timing target leaves you between May and October 2025, which ultimately leaves you with about 6 months to 1 year of upside potential over here, which means you can still make a lot of money. Again, you just need to be positioned in the right coins. Now, remember, we spoke about the market being a function of liquidity. And as liquidity comes into the market, we saw the People's Bank of China absolutely printing over there, stimulating the economy. And consequently, this was a predominant driver and one of the reasons for our bias shifting to be bullish. Now, the good news is that later on, you're going to hear news, at least coming from the Fed, where they shift completely into loose monetary policy. We're waiting for the last couple of high impact economic data events to come out, which should be done over the next, let's say, probably the next 4 to 8 weeks. Everything should be out of the way. This week, we have a couple of high impact events. We have the US core PCE price index on Thursday, and then we have the unemployment rate coming out on Friday. Now, Friday is pretty important because Friday will give us an idea as to what the probability or the chances are that the Fed is going to pivot more towards a much looser monetary policy and a form of quantitative easing where they finish tightening altogether. We've already seen signs of the pivot, but we want to see if they're going to go full force, and this is going to be a continuation of that trend, right, of cutting interest rates and instead stimulating the economy and buying back into the markets, right? And if we do get that, that creates, this liquidity injection on absolute steroids. And that's where our biggest altcoin seasons tend to occur. So we've been tracking accurately the M2 money supply, and we've been looking at how it tends to lag, right? The M2 money supply started to increase. Stock market followed along with almost a 1-to-1 ratio. As M2 money supply went up, the stock market went up, but crypto tends to lag by a couple of weeks. Now it's catching up, right? That lag has come to its end. It's now, the slack is gone on the line, and basically it's time for crypto to catch on with that move. We're still waiting for the proper breakdown of the DXY. We're looking for something like this, a rejection between the 0.65, which is the current price level, and the 0.786 fib retracement. That's taken from the previous move that we had over here. If we can reject from that and you can start to see a proper breakdown, gain acceptance below the gray box once again, that should bode really well for the crypto markets, and we should see a continued move. The other thing that should bring nice liquidity is, of course, the breakdown of the USDT dominance. We do need to keep an eye on that because a move down into this 3 zone over here, the 3% zone, should bring a sizable move. But one thing that we do, of course, want to focus on still is going to be this long-term trend line, right? You can see this long-term trend line over here. This is going to be a major area, because every time you come into that as support, that's quite a big, strong level of support historically, and the USDT dominance tends to go up more and more. We spoke about that yesterday, how the stablecoin market is a quadrillion-dollar asset class or market, and the more stablecoins they bring into the market, of course, the higher the USDT dominance is going to go, and they've been printing USDT regularly. The good news is that USDT or Tether as a company buy back Bitcoin with part of their profits every single quarter, and that tends to lead to a final quarter pump, right? As such dominant at least figures within the space. So we'll watch as it comes into this area. The horizontals are more important to me than the diagonals, but we do have to accept that, these diagonals over here have been important previously. You can correlate this. Each of the major bounces over here mark pretty major tops on Bitcoin, at least local highs, right? Not necessarily always cycle highs, but local highs. So we'll keep an eye out on that. That should bring some newfound liquidity. Now, if you do want to join along the journey, if you want to learn more about the markets, please do make sure that you jump in and join Whale School, right? Because we do begin in 5 hours, right? 5 hours. It starts today. This is cohort number 9. I've given pretty much all of my knowledge, everything that you need to succeed. Genuinely speaking, everything that took me from 0 to my current net worth, has been based off of Whale School and everything that I've learned in there. So all the teachings are in there. It's completely free, by the way. You don't have to pay a single cent. You do need to sign up to one of the exchanges below. The good news is, by the way, if you do choose Blowfin, well, they're currently running a promotion over here as well, where you can spin the wheel, right? They have a huge offer. You can win 2 BTC, an iPhone 16. Yes, you heard that right, by the way. You can literally win 2 Bitcoin, an iPhone 16. What is that? That's 30,000 Shiba Inu. I can't read upside down. Well, I don't know what this one is. This is a, what is this? This is, I wish I could spin it around. I can't read upside down. 2 Tron. You can win 10 futures bonus dollars, I think 40,000 Pepe, or if you miss it, you have to try again. So pretty high odds. The link is in the description below for both Blowfin as well as Whale School. Use that over there. Make sure that you jump in. We do begin today. All right. Bitcoin looking really strong, right? So talking again about the liquidity, M2 money supply, playing catch up over there, the breakdown of the DXY, the breakdown of the USDT dominance, that should bring new money into the market. Bitcoin's only job over here is to now flip and defend $69,000 as support. That's broken above all the high volume areas. Your point of control is now popped up to 67,910. There's your key level running across the screen. But ultimately, we just want to see Bitcoin defend this region. So multiple candle closes into the election phase, holding above $69,000 to $70,000. That should do it for the breakout. And that would be, that would be an opportunity. That would be really lucky if you do even get that, because when the market starts to break out like this on real volume, which you can see the volume is now increasing over here, showing that there's real buyers stepping into the market. This is unlikely to be manipulation. Then oftentimes you will see price catapult very, very quickly through to the upside. So we've broken into this zone. We've been focusing on this for a couple of months now, looking for the SOS phase. This was ever since we printed this candle over here. And I told you this was your spring phase in the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. We confirmed it. We put in high lows, higher highs. We're now in the SOS phase. So again, just a reminder of what comes next, right? What comes next is you move into the accumulation phase E. And the purpose of that is it begins the markup phase, right? And that is the start of the uptrend. So this is the next step. This is where we're at right now. Price exits the trading range. Demand begins to dominate, leading to a clear uptrend with higher highs and high lows. Retail participants come back into the market. The public jump in and join the bullish market, reinforcing the trend and pumping price a lot higher, right? That's what we're looking for right now. Bitcoin above the 9 and 18 exponential moving average. I guess I do have to warn that we are going to be coming into the next bear moon, which is coming very soon, right? So we're on day 13, 14, 15. By Friday, we'll have a bear moon. Maybe that pauses price. Maybe that creates a little bit of, a slowdown. That would be the best case scenario for the bulls. The bulls, you don't want to see necessarily price slam down like that again. That will create quite a big trap within the market, but at least a little bit of sideways price action over here, holding again between that key $69,000 and maybe this current 74K region. If you can form a nice range of there, that will start to look like a low time frame bull flag, and then we can prepare over the next 2 weeks to go much higher. So all in all, that's what we're looking at. It's all supported by the total cryptocurrency market cap moving towards the upside over there. So that is looking good. Let's just quickly double check over here. I do want to have a look at total 2 and 3 as well. How's total 2 doing? Okay, total 2 is breaking out over there as well. Total 3 also breaking the downsloping trend line, consolidating within that region. Total is the most important to me, because when total 2 and total 3 rally, it could be a function of money flowing out of Bitcoin. So we ultimately want to look to the total cryptocurrency market cap and ensure that that's going up. That shows you that the rising tide is lifting all ships, right? It's the tide across everywhere that's busy rising, as opposed to a rotational game where money's flowing from one coin into the next coin into the next coin. So this is a good sign. This is showing you that the breakout is real. The consolidation, the order block that I said would be creating a massive breakout, it's all in play. Now we want to see that breakout occur, and we want to see price hold above 2.6 trillion. If it can hold above 2.6 trillion, you start to open up the potential to move a lot higher, right? And similar to the timing cycles that we looked at on Bitcoin, you can essentially do the same thing over here. And measuring out what happened with the total cryptocurrency market cap previously, you're looking again somewhere around October. So it's about a 1 year period of continuation. Now, there will be dips along the way. You may see something like that. You may come into a cool-off period somewhere, sell in May and go away. Maybe you see something like that. And then you have a final Q2, Q3 rally into the all-time highs. Possibly price-wise, I'd be targeting on the total cryptocurrency market cap somewhere around that $8 trillion mark, which is on average about a 4x on the current crypto market cap, which is pretty solid, right? Pretty solid. Now, if you're picking the right coins, you should make a lot of money in that environment, right? And you can see right now, despite Bitcoin trading pretty much exactly at all-time highs, you still don't have the funding rate heat map going overheated. Overheated looks like this: periods of yellow and orange. What do we have? Periods of green and blue. This is showing you that for the most part, the funding is pretty healthy. Even on Bitcoin, the current price that people are paying is, let's just scroll exactly into that region, about 17%, right? 17% on open interest to keep that open, ETH 10%. And then some of these are even negative, right? If you go to TIA, so TIA is negative 25%, meaning if you're long over there, you're actually being paid to remain in a long position. So these are good signs. This is healthy signs. When you start to see this, you know that you're very, very late. Things are overheated. And this is the environment where you want to start to take profit. The environment where you want to build your positions was all the way down here when nobody was interested within the market, right? So there it is, ETH BTC coming down into the key level. We are looking for a major bottom over here. You have ETH USD showing some signs of strength. Now you just want to see this slowly grind sideways and upwards and lead into continuation. And part of the reason that I was looking for long on ETH specifically is because we've never had ETH have 3 negative quarters in a row, right? So Q2 was negative, Q3 was negative, and then the question is, was Q4 also going to be negative? Well, I think if you refresh this chart now, the answer would be no. I can probably do that right now. Let's go over here. Let's look at that. There we go. No, it's not. If you go to the Ethereum quarterly returns, Q4 has now turned positive, and we've never had 3 in a row that were negative. So it was basically an easy long opportunity over there on ETH. I'm currently long on ETH, up 54% on the trade over here, looking for price to break out of an ascending triangle and for measured move target at least taking ETH up to $3,200. And I think that could come as soon as within the next 2 to 3 weeks or so. So this is a swing trade, right? It's not a quick trade. Although I am highly leveraged on this position, it is a swing trade that I'm going to be looking to hold over the next couple of days. With that being said, we knew that the cycle had not ended, right? Partly because of this, right? We spoke about the Bitcoin dominance, and we said that Bitcoin dominance bottoming tends to create a top on Bitcoin USD price, right? We saw the bottom over there. We saw the bottom over there. We saw the bottom over there. What did we see on price, right? Top and top. So therefore, the fact that price was coming into resistance at the range high, but Bitcoin dominance was all the way at the top and not bottoming, but topping, we knew that this was an easy call to be long on the market over the last couple of months, right? Establishing those long positions, specifically at the bottom, we said in August. We're looking for a bottom between the end of July, sometime in August, or possibly into September. It ended up being in August was the bottom for the market over there. You can see it. If we look at this, again, between August and September, that was your bottom of the market. We're establishing our long positions, and now we're looking for the breakdown on Bitcoin dominance. So the question is, what are the best altcoins to be in? In terms of the blue chips, Solana is still a very, very solid bet. You can see over here, you have price putting in high lows, equal highs at the top over here. This is an ascending triangle, and it's probably going to lead to a breakout, right? So how high is this going to go? Let's look at the percentage to see once this does actually break out. From current prices, if you were in Solana instead of Bitcoin, well, this move alone will make you 64% more Bitcoin because this is the sole BTC chart. Now, I do want to let you know, I did drop this link. It's in the traders chat section for any of you in Whale Room. If you do want these watch lists over here in terms of the alt BTC pairs, this full list over there, it is in Whale Room in the Discord under the traders chat section. There was a request for that yesterday. I did drop it in there for you. Now let's have a look at some of the coins. Sui looking really, really strong here. I'm going to go through, some of the positions that I think would be the best to hold, some obvious bets, some things that will pretty much high chances they're going to succeed within this part of the cycle. I think the 𝗬𝗎 is one of them. 𝗬𝗎 is definitely one to look at. It's got the narrative of the Solana killer. I don't believe it will be a Solana killer because it's not 10x better. It's good, but it's not 10x better. But I think this is one worthwhile having in your portfolio. I think Casper is one to look at, but wait for it to cool off. It tends to trade opposite to what the rest of the market does. Oftentimes when you see the rest of the market coming down or consolidating, Casper's pumping, and vice versa, right? When the rest of the market starts to move up, sometimes this one goes through its corrective phase. So you're looking to establish a position in Casper around the 0.09 region, right? So that's Casper, 𝗬𝗎. Injective, I think, is worth a small bid over here, but I wouldn't allocate too heavy into this position. I would rather go with bigger size in Solana, bigger size in 𝗬𝗎, bigger size in Casper, and then like moderate size in something like Injective. I'd also go moderate size in 𝗕𝗏. 𝗕𝗏 eventually hit our intended target that we're looking at for quite some time. Remember, we're looking for the rejection over here at the 0.618 to 65, the golden pocket. You rejected, you came down, you respected that downsloping trend line, and then you came into support. So this is the region where you want to start to see 𝗕𝗏 pick up. This is a moderate size position that I'd be looking at. I'd also put in Aptos into the portfolio. I have it in mind. Pretty much a long opportunity right around over here. You're looking for a trade up. Again, moderate size, not heavy size. And 𝗕𝗓 kind of fits into layer ones as well as into the AI sector. I think this is a worthwhile position to establish as well. Even at current prices over here, this is probably going to be a macro high low. So you're looking at this, right? You have your low, you're going to have a high low, and you're probably going to have a high low over here if the rest of the market breaks out. And that's going to be a great entry for something like 𝗕𝗓. Okay, let's skip through to the rest. In terms of real world assets, okay, what am I looking at? I'd be looking at Axelar. I do currently hold also, a moderate position on Axelar, so not heavy, moderate. I've established the position way down here. This is also probably going to be a macro high low, and you're looking for continuation. Okay, what other ones do we have? Mantra. This has been a long-term position of mine. Look, it's run a lot, so you might want to look to something else that hasn't put in such massive gains, because eventually there's going to be profit taking. Unless this comes all the way back down to about this $1 region, that's going to be a decent zone to possibly look to get an entry. Okay, 𝗕𝗎𝗎. This is another one that we established a position on. That was all the way over here when it started to break this trend line. Of course, it's run quite a bit over here already. We almost tagged the 0.618 to 65, that golden pocket. Narrowly missed it by a couple of cents on the futures market. It came into that target zone over there, and that was your second opportunity to get in. Now you're going to have to wait for a little bit of a pullback. You're currently forming a fair value gap, so wait for this daily candle to close. If you do want to allocate into this, once that daily candle closes, somewhere within this region, you'll print a fair value gap, and then you're looking for that to fill, right? So the picks over there for real world assets for me personally is going to be Axelar, 𝗕𝗎𝗎, Mantra. Those are my three real world asset picks for the cycle. And DEXs, I'm not interested. Skipping exchange tokens, I'm not interested at all. I'm skipping that. When it comes to the AI sector, I have small positions over here. I wouldn't say, anything is sizable or moderate, except for FET, actually. So 𝗬𝗏, I have a small position over here. You look to reestablish the long over here at about 461. That is your mid-range region. Let's go to Render. Render, I'm still interested. We swept the equal lows. That was what I was looking for. Break back into the range. If you can start to take out 555, it's probably going to break the downsloping trend line that's been governing price lower. And this you can also view as a major range low that was retested. So Render, I think also I'll go with a small position over there. The other one is of course FET. This one I have a moderate position. And again, also choppy, very, very choppy price action over here. Look, probably dollar cost average into this if you want to get in. I wouldn't rule out something like that. It is possible you sweep down into the $1 region once again. EOS, I think, is worth a small position as well. So when it comes to the AI sector, I've got 𝗬𝗏, Render, FET is the moderate size position, and EOS would be a smaller position over there. Now, the meme coins, this is where a lot of my portfolio resides, and we can go through quite an extensive list over here. I don't want to go through every single token just because there's so much. Some of these positions I have are sizable, large, bigger than what I'm holding in layer ones, but I can't necessarily give those to you right now because they've run. I don't want you to chase price action. So we have to look to things that haven't pumped as much, right? I think that WIF is still more or less in a decent zone to at least allocate some of your portfolio into WIF. WIF is going to be a leverage bet on Solana. If Solana is strong against BTC and Solana starts to break out, you can expect when the market moves into a risk-on environment, WIF is probably also going to do phenomenally well. So that's one to look at over there. Bonk is in a decent zone right now. You got the break of the downsloping trend line, also known as, of course, your falling wedge over here. You can see the wedge that formed. And then you have price attempting to put in a major low, literally right here at current levels. I think this one is still relatively early. And I think all-time highs on this into the bull market are inevitable. So you can do the math as a percentage. You're looking at already 100% move on that alone, right? And probably beyond that, but on the very, very least, 100% move. Okay. I think 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗡 is still in a decent zone as per the long trade that I have over here. When this thing starts to run, it runs very, very quickly. You're probably putting in a higher low over here, and then you're going to look for rapid expansion. Let's see, what other ones did I have in a good zone? MOG, you're going to have to dollar cost average into. I think this will be one of the top performers within the cycle. It is, of course, it's had a pretty decent run over here. It found support at the golden pocket at the 618 to 65 fib level, holding that level and bouncing. It's okay. If you dollar cost averaging in, it's okay to probably enter more or less within this region. Another coin in the zone, I would say, is Brett. Relative to where I think this thing could go, this is a pretty decent zone over here. You've broken this downsloping trend line, back tested a couple of times, and you're looking also for a move into the all-time high region, which is going to be over 100%, and then probably well beyond that. Another one in a decent zone to look at is Myro, still hovering around here, still relatively early in terms of this trade, came perfectly into major support, broke the downsloping trend line, also a falling wedge that you have over here, looking pretty decent over there. Okay, let's continue. What else? What else is in decent zones? Ponky, it's okay. These are the other ones that I have very sizable positions in, things like PopCat. But, it's already run. So I can't necessarily say that I would tell you to put your money in at this level. That's a little bit crazy. Same story with Giga, right? 𝗕𝗓𝗔𝗗𝗘's also done well there. Okay, Book of Memes. It's okay. It's done well. It's had a big move up over here. It's coming back. You're looking for a major high low to form within this region. Your confirmation of the breakout is going to be if it can get above the candle that marked price towards the downside. That was on Friday, the 25th of October. Get back above that candle's high, and it's probably going to be looking good for continuation. So anywhere within this zone, I think is pretty decent. One of the blue chip memes that I've recently added to my portfolio, we went long all the way down here at the bottom of the range. We up 83% on this. I think this is going to be one of the top performers. I do think that this could have PopCat-like tendencies, right, where it does really, really well. It's just floating onwards and upwards. I like to long these coins with relative strength and then simply just hold on. So in terms of the meme coins, those are my areas of interest. Let's go to gaming, metaverse, NFTs. There's not much over here that I'm interested in. Let's go to Prime. So Prime failing to hold the upsloping trend line over there. So I will delete that. It's lost that level. Let's just reevaluate. Okay, I still don't have any gaming, metaverse, or NFTs. Actually, I think I have a little bit of Vulcan Forge. We can go to Vulcan Forge first. So Vulcan Forge broke the downsloping trend line. Look, it's not looking great, but I know when these things pump, they can pump hard. It's a tiny position. That's probably the only one that I'm currently holding. And maybe I'll pick up some Prime, right? So I think Prime is a decent bet. Have a look at it like that. Maybe we just need to reshuffle and readjust the lines over there. It could still meet that ascending triangle criteria, but look, that would be then your major level coming into the mid-range. This mid-range level over here, 670, right? That's the zone that you would need to see hold. Okay, let's see. Other gaming coins, 𝗓𝗓, look, massive unlocks on these. So that's really pretty much the only one that I'm interested in is probably Prime when it comes to the gaming sector. Okay, cross-chain. There's a couple of opportunities over here in cross-chain. Look, you have Zeus. We gave you the level at 19 cents. Since prices hit that 19 cents region, you can see we've already gone up significantly. Let's just quickly grab our ruler over there and we'll double check how much. So Zeus over there, Zeus, it's already put in a 35% move. I hold a small position in this, right? Small position. The other one is Rune. I have a moderate sized position in my portfolio. This has done really well. Look at that big move up over there. And then We have 𝗕𝗓𝗓 as well, looking at 𝗕𝗓𝗓 holding up over here. I also have this in my portfolio, moderate size position. And then we have PRQ, right? PRQ as well coming into the support region over here. I do think that this is one to watch into the range low reaccumulation. Remember that ultimately they are launching a new coin where if you hold the PRQ token, you're going to receive the new coin as soon as it does come out. Okay, and I think really when I go through my list, those are the main ones. There are some other outliers down here that I may have missed, like I think 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗡, right? I just saw, where was 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗡? 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗡 coming into key support over there. So probably not bad for a small position to hold within this bull cycle. Now I've just lost it. Let's quickly pull 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗡 up again. And I have banana gun as well. There's 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗡 coming into the bottom of the range over here. This was your prior range resistance. So you're coming back to test that as support if you can successfully hold that, and you can break this down sloping trend line. Probably looks decent for at least a bit of a move. So this is the area, that's the area of interest over there. Let's clean this up a bit. The other one is banana gun. So there it is. Banana been putting in high highs and high lows. You can see you got your range high over here. So let's just quickly mark that out. Once you can break and hold above this, then it should be cooking, right? High highs and high lows. Wait for the breakout level. The most important thing is that you are putting in those high lows, which is a sign of reaccumulation. So watch it grind into this region, and then that should lead to the breakout. All right. In terms of this, I see grass. There's questions around grass. So I know the grass token did come out. Let's have a look over there. We can pull it up. Grass USDT. Okay, what exchanges do we have it on? Let's go to MEXI. Hopefully they have enough history on it. It's obviously brand new, guys, so I can go into like the 4-hour time frame. Look, my experience with this, it's probably going to come all the way down. This is typically what occurs with these tokens, right? From all-time high, expect, a big drop. So the only thing that you can do now chart-wise is to treat this as a range, right? So you have your range high over there. This is going to be your most optimal range low to look at. And maybe, I don't know if you're leverage trading this or what you're doing. I don't even know if they have perpetuals, but you'd be looking at this, right? I would personally wait if you are bullish on grass for the long term under the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 sector, and you think this is going to do really well in the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 AI sector, just wait. The chances are that all the airdrop participants are going to be selling over here, net sellers, and this is going to bleed down. Look at that, down 12.6% today already. And then it's going to bleed out, right? We've seen it on all of them, like things like Jupiter. Even if it's projects with staying power, the initial launch or airdrop does usually get faded pretty aggressively. So if you are in this, probably not a bad idea to take your profits and just wait, right? And even take your profits and dollar cost average in. Chances are that you'll get a lower entry just doing that, right? Like market sell and DCA in, right? So you'll probably see it do something like that. All right. What else, guys? How long has the show been? We're 37 minutes in. Drop your requests over there. Let me read a couple of the requests. If there's enough of the same ones, I'll make sure to 100% bring it up. While we wait for that, I do want to remind you guys, jump in, join Whale School. We begin with the live cohort today. And what I also want to mention is we're going to be giving away some Bitfunded or funding your accounts for Bitfunded, right? So if you do want to participate in the prop challenge, we're giving free trials at least out, because remember, you have to pass the challenge. You have to pay for the challenge. We're paying for the challenge for you, and we're going to be giving that away on Whale School, which is going to be later on today, 4 hours 45 minutes. I think it is at about 2 p.m. SAST. So it depends where in the world you are. That's where we start with the welcome event, and then also come and spin the wheel over here. Oh, by the way, if you do also sign up to Blowfin and you spin the wheel, not only will you get into Whale School, firstly, secondly, you will also be able to spin the wheel with Blowfin, and thirdly, you'll be able to come down over here, and that automatically qualifies you into the Win a Full Bitcoin Challenge happening on the Banter Bubbles site over here. So go through below. Sign up over there. Once you sign up, you can come through, you can join Whale School. You can also come through to Blowfin and you can spin the wheel and you have a chance to win 2 BTC there. And then you can come through over here and then you can go to win a Bitcoin, and then you put in your user ID and then you guess what the price of Bitcoin will be by the 1st of January, right? As the clock strikes 12, if you get the closest guess, you'll get a full Bitcoin. So 3 Bitcoin up for grabs over there, but I guess the odds will be pretty low to win all 3, but still an opportunity over there. Okay, Mooding. Yeah, we can have a look at Mooding. Let's go to Mooding quickly. I've seen it hasn't done too bad, right? Considering this is probably a bit of a cabal coin. Let's quickly go into the daily time frame. So it hasn't done too bad, and I was pretty surprised with this massive pump over here. I think this was a Binance listing or something. Levels that I'd be looking at, I'll just be watching something like this. This is going to be a major area. You want to hold that as support. So there it is. We'll double mark it out over there. Pretty much the zone 19,181. Watch for price to continue to hold that. If it can hold that, you should get a move up. But also keep in mind, this has created a huge inefficiency, which at a later stage is going to come back and fill, right? So eventually you're probably going to drop into this zone over here. So if it depends on your strategy. Are you trying to do this as a swing trader, hold it long term, or you just in it for a quick trade? Oh, and then there was a question about Super, right? Super. I guess that's one that I probably missed. When it comes to Super Farm, this is one that I probably would be willing to add. Let's just see. I'm sure that I had this charted over here. Okay, now I seem to have lost it. Let's just quickly pull up another one then. Okay, so Super, it wasn't in the section. That's why I missed it. But this one's very, very, very strong. If you are in Super, when it comes to the gaming sector, this is definitely the top performer. You want to hold and defend this region over here, which is going to be $1.15. If you can defend that 115, then you can look for continuation. Then you're looking for higher prices over there. If you lose that, you do have a lot of liquidity over here. And then you're going to be visiting back down to the mid-range, which is going to be around that 80 cents region. So that's the thoughts on Super. But if you got into your positions, way back over here with this long-term reaccumulation, I would say you're in a great spot. Continue to hold this. This could be one that defies the odds of the rest of the gaming sector. Okay, Pendle. Yeah, we can have a look at Pendle. Pendle USDT. All right. Pendle. There it is. Okay. Which one's charted? Okay, this one. Let's go to this one over here. Okay, Pendle. So putting in higher highs, higher lows, breaking above these previous zones over here, which were resistance at 470. So just treat it as a range. Pendle is probably going to the range high, which is going to be $7. This is one of the stronger ones, one of the few coins within the cycle that's done well since the beginning of the year. Another 38% move towards the upside. Not looking too bad. Phantom. Let's also check out Phantom. What's going on in Phantom? All right. And then for those of you also, I do want to let you know and remind you one more time that you have 48 hours left to join Whale School. If you do, or Whale Room, if you want to join Whale Room, the pricing is going up by 60%, right? 60%. If you join now, you're going to be locked in at the current pricing. All of the information is here in Whale Room. If you go under here, you'll find in Captain's Take. If you scroll up, you'll find all the portfolios, everything that we've been looking at. It is all in there. You can see here's my breakdown of my portfolio. Everything is in there. If you do want all the rest of the coins, all the splits in terms of percentages, I'll do an updated one with anything new that I'm buying very, very soon. That is in the Whale Room private Discord. Okay, Phantom over here, holding above this range level over here, which is pretty key. That's looking good. 60 cents. As long as it can hold above 60 cents, your next resistance is going to be mid-range coming in at 88. And thereafter, you're looking at a move up to 123. So they're obviously rebranding to Sonic. I believe Phantom holders will get the Sonic token. And if Bitcoin breaks out, you can expect also higher highs, higher lows, trend continuation for Sonic. Okay, I see there is a request for Filecoin. Look, Filecoin is definitely one of the major laggards over here. I personally wouldn't be interested in Filecoin unless it came down into the bottom of the range. I don't know what the narrative is that's going to get Filecoin going. The truth of the matter, it hasn't run yet, and there's clearly a reason for that, right? So this is what I'm talking about, where for the most part, you want to go for coins where the attention and the interest is, right? That's where the liquidity is. And the truth be told, it's been in meme coins. That's why I've outlined the majority of what my portfolio looks like. And if you want the detailed analysis, please go through to Whale Room in the Discord over there. You can pull it up in the Captain's Take. But for the most part, my focus is layer ones, a couple of AI coins, and then very heavy in the meme coin sector, because those will probably still continue to outperform. So everything is there in the description of the YouTube channel for you. I'm going to catch all of you on the next one. I hope you have an absolutely stellar day. Everyone else, I'll see you in a couple of hours at Whale School. Have a great day, everyone, and cheers for now.